executives, all the workers, managers, bankers, and yes, all the generals, admirals, officers, and all politicians, all government office holders, everyone in the nation be restricted to a total monthly income not to exceed that paid to the soldier. Why shouldn't they? They aren't running any risk of being killed or having their bodies mangled or their minds shattered. The soldiers are. Give capital, industry, and labor 30 days to think it over, and I think you will find by that time there will be no war. Another step necessary in the fight to smash the war racket is the limited plebiscite to determine whether a war should be declared. A plebiscite not of all the voters, but merely of those who would be called upon to do the fighting and dying. There wouldn't be very much sense in having the president of a munitions factory or the head of an international banking firm or the manager of a uniform manufacturing plant, all of whom see visions of tremendous profits in the event of war, voting on whether the nation should go to war or not. They never would be called upon to shoulder arms. Only those who would be called upon to risk their lives for their country should have the privilege of voting to determine whether the nation should go to war. That would smash the war racket. That and nothing else. The next war, according to experts, will be fought not with battleships, not by artillery, not with rifles, and not with machine guns. It will be fought with deadly chemicals and gases. But victory or defeat will be determined by the skill and ingenuity of our scientists. If we put them to work making poison gas and more fiendish mechanical and explosive instruments of destruction, they will have no time for the constructive job of building a greater prosperity for all peoples. By putting them to this useful job, we can all make more money out of peace than we can out of war. So, I say, to hell with war!
The elite finance both sides of every war. They finance
Absolutely.
both sides of World War I, both sides of World War II. As you heard Smedley Butler state, and as he stated in his book, there are great fortunes to be made on the part of certain people as a result of war. War is to the advantage of the elite because they become wealthier and they know when it's going to take place, so they do things beforehand. I was asked a few hours ago, will there be war with Iran? The answer was positively no. We're not going to have war with Iran if we have anything to do with it. According to what I am told, war will take place after approximately a year and a half. It's planned.
Oh, really?
Now, keep in mind that the elite are not God. They don't always get their way. And there is one factor that changes everything, and that's divine intervention. If God steps into this, the true and living
Amen.
Creator of heaven and earth,
Amen.
that you and I know, if he steps in, they may not have their way. But if the elite have their way, they have war planned. It is in the works. They have it mapped out where they want it. I was told back approximately 2 years ago there'd be no war at the time. And at the time, you remember, we had all of our Army, Navy, Air Force, everybody lined up in the Persian Gulf.
Everybody was saying war.
On a minute's notice. I was even saying over some radio talk shows, better watch out, we might have war with Iran. I talked with this gentleman on the telephone, and he said, no, Chaplain, We're not going to have war with Iran anytime soon. But all of our armament was sitting over there ready. Well, I went on some radio talk shows and said, no war. Even some radio talk show hosts got upset at me. Well, a year and a half has gone by, and we've not had any war, just exactly as the elite said it would. So I'm saying to you this time, I was just told by this individual, no war with Iran. The only way it'll happen is if Israel starts it.
Well, let me explain how the ruling elite make millions, maybe billions from war. Let me explain why they want war to a certain degree. They say that the world's greatest business is the business of war. That's the way they look at it. Now, if you want proof of this, if you want additional details, you want to look up a book by the author Ralph Epperson. Ralph Epperson. The name of the book is The Unseen Hand. He goes through there and lays it all out, and he explains, he even names names. Now, here's the way they do it. Let's say, for example, Israel and Iran are planning a war. Now, obviously, it takes lots and lots of money. Well, where do they go to get that money? They have to go to the world ruling elite, which is, of course, bankers. Okay, so Iran, let's say, for example, comes to the bankers and they say, I want to go over here and attack Israel, but I need additional money. Well, the ruling elite say, all right, fine, we will give you the finances to do this. But if you are victorious over Israel, you have to pay back your loan plus the loan that we give to Israel. Then, of course, Israel hears of the attack, or they're attacked. At some point in there, they have to get some money, and they also go to the world ruling elite bankers. And they say, all right, fine, we will give you a loan, Israel, but if you are victorious, you not only have to pay off the Israeli loan, but you also have to pay off the loan to Iran. In other words, they are in between, in the middle, and whoever wins, they still get paid back. They still make millions and millions and millions of dollars. The greatest business in the world is war. And of course, a lot of times they dictate that by many different ways. One of the ways is by simply giving one side more money than the other side. And we don't understand that. But every time there was a bomb dropped in Vietnam, they made money. Every time a helicopter went down, someone made money. They don't care about, or at least not the way we do. They don't care about the blood that is spilled. They care about the money that they make because they have an agenda. And that agenda is to build a world government, a Novus Ordo Seclorum government, a world government not based upon the Bible, but based upon, of course, the Antichrist. Now, that's how they make money.
The mindset of the elite. I've tried on my DVDs that we made the previous set. I've tried on this one to explain to the viewing audience the mindset. Understand how these people think. Only when you understand how they think will you be able to outwit them and stay a step ahead of them and put dinner on your table. So this is just one more example. They do not think in terms of life or blood or families or heartaches. They think only in terms of the name of the game is control.
That's exactly what I was saying. You're about to say the word control.
Yes.
A lot of people say, well, I'll ask them, well, why do you think that they do this? For example, the mark of the beast. Why do they want to put a mark of the beast on every person so that they can't buy or sell? And they'll say, well, because they want to make money. No. They've got plenty of money. What do they want? Control. Okay, fine. Why do they want the control? Here's what they want to do. It's like they want to put all of the world into a funnel. And they want to bring every person on the globe down to one basic decision, and that is, what God do you serve? Will you take the mark, or will you resist? That's why they want the control. But what they're after at this stage here, I agree with you 100%, is after control.
So Americans right now don't need to be concerned about Iran. The other countries, Yemen, the others that are rattling their sabers over there,
Right.
Don't be too concerned. It usually is a distraction from what they really don't want you to pay attention to in Washington and what's going on. America's greatest concern right now is the decline in the value of the dollar. Every American